The multi-city sized Tower of Everkeep serves as the centerpiece of the Kingdom of Alexandria. It's home to the majority of citizens in the kingdom and was constructed to ensure their survival and prosperity, no matter what form the citizen may take. Namiway and I will explore the tower in more detail, highlighting its structure, systems, and lesser known facts about its history and function. First, a history lesson to bring us up to speed. The Ninth Reflection, 1000 years ago. This world would have looked very similar to Aetheris. It was around this time that lightning aspected Aether began to swell. With each passing year, thunder and rainstorms became more frequent. 2 centuries later, and the rainy season of their world lasted a quarter of the year, during which thunderstorms ravaged the land, and the rain never let up. 400 years after that, the rainy season lasted half the year. This was also the point where Electrope was discovered, a byproduct of the lightning striking the land below. Control of this resource would spark a war between Alexandria and Lindblum known as the Storm Surge. This war would later end when Lindblum used all of their Electrope to create a weapon of mass destruction. The use of this weapon laid waste to the entire continent. In the wake of this calamity, Alexandria was the only one left standing, and refugees flocked to its walls for protection. The Storm Surge pushed their world to the brink. Storms endured year-round. Crops and livestock died, having been cut off from the sun for extended periods. And the people that remained endured endless suffering due to the Levin. This brings us to the precursor to Everkeep. The kingdom had originally constructed a massive dome of Electrope to encompass the city of Alexandria and much of its outlying area. Its primary purpose was to shield the kingdom from the Levin. At first, this suited their needs perfectly. They even used the Electrope to create a facsimile of clear skies for all within the dome to enjoy. But the Levin outside continued to increase in both frequency and potency. But that was not the only danger. The rain was endless, so much in fact that the continent itself began to flood. As a result, the dome began to fail. Rainwater started to seep inside, threatening to flood the kingdom within, and larger breaches were made by powerful Levin strikes. The dome wouldn't last forever, and a new solution was needed. This was when the concept of what would one day become Everkeep was designed. Its purpose was twofold. First, to protect the living citizens of Alexandria and ensure quality of life. Second was to ensure the continuation of those that died and became the Endless, though this would come much later. Everkeep, like Rome, was not built in a day. It took years just to build the foundations, level 0. Better known as Underkeep, this level would be the foundation for the tower built above. Paying honour to their fallen ruler and the castle that ever stood as a symbol of hope for their kingdom, the foundations would be built around Castle Alexandria, ensuring its safety in perpetuity. As the dome continued to fail, the castle served as one of the last places of refuge in the kingdom, until the foundations of Everkeep could be completed. As they laboured to build Everkeep, it was a near constant battle against the rising water levels, not to mention Levin strikes that penetrated the dome. It took a long time, but their work would be rewarded in the end. With Underkeep completed, the castle was secure, and the people of Alexandria had a refuge, as they looked to begin the great generational work of constructing Everkeep. Underkeep has 2 primary sectors, an inner core and an outer layer. The outer layer is the foundational framework, a series of giant support pillars that would bear the weight of Everkeep. On the ground, a network of sediment traps were constructed to funnel rain and groundwater away from the foundation. This large area may have also served some agricultural purpose as well, but that's just speculation. The inner core is a large circular structure that runs through the core of the foundations and likely into Everkeep itself. Inside this core is the evacuation zone, where citizens were moved as the dome outside continued to fail. Lining the walls of the inner core are what remains of the temporary residential area, where the people lived and worked while helping to support the kingdom and construct Everkeep. And of course, Castle Alexandria can be found at its centre. The first levels of Everkeep served as a refuge for the kingdom's citizens. But as the centuries drew on and more levels were added, these people moved higher and higher, and the lower levels took on other functions such as maintenance and construction. Given the tower's secondary function in processing souls, These processes take up multiple floors. The primary structure of Everkeep has 12 established levels, and I'll be describing them based on their modern day usage. Level 1 contains the hover docks and intake wharf, used to access the tower via land, sea and air. This is where materials such as mined electrope, livestock, props and other materials were brought into the tower. You could think of level 1 as a massive loading dock, and the materials it receives would be transported all over Everkeep via an expansive conveyor system. The primary elevator allowing access to the tower is also located on this level, though access is strictly controlled. Most materials that enter level 1 soon find themselves on level 2, the resource collection facility. This is the primary storage facility of Everkeep, storing all the materials needed to keep the tower functional. Recently, it's also been used for the temporary storage of regulators and empty soul cell containers. Honestly, our brief travel through this level doesn't do it justice. It's an expansive pillared hall that stretches farther than the eye can see, containing all the raw materials needed to keep the kingdom going. It could even put the great works of the Yuk-Hui to shame. Levels 3, 4 and 5 are largely unknown sectors, though based upon the rest of the tower's design, they'd likely serve as the maintenance and infrastructure levels of Everkeep. They'd likely contain facilities such as electro-processing, environmental control, and facility management that controls the operations of the other floors. The majority of these systems are automated via the Everkeep core system. Level 6 houses the power production facility, which supplies energy to all levels of Everkeep. We bypass this level as we headed to Origenics, but from the outside of the tower we have a full view. The core of this level pulses with lightning energy, harvested from the leaven of the environment such as the lightning strikes. Lightning rods are located around the general area, and all feed back to Everkeep. Given its central location, Everkeep's core system may also be located here. This is the system that automates Everkeep's functions. It also controls the automated soldiers and guards that keep the tower safe.
Only when they are busy not getting hacked.
Level 7 contains the first level of Origenics, the Soul Management Division. Origenics itself is located on both this level and level 11, both connected via elevators and conveyors, as they both are to levels like Resource Collection. The Soul Management Division has two facilities. The Soul Extraction Facility. It extracts souls from regulators and capture containers, such as those used by the automated soldiers who attacked Tuliolal. The souls of captured monsters are also processed here in the same fashion. Once extracted, these souls move on to the Memory Extraction Facility. As its name suggests, this is where the memory and soul aether are separated. This is done within large etheric vats containing hundreds of souls at a time. Once this process is completed, both are stored in specialized canisters and loaded onto the soul conveyance system. Memory would proceed to the right, and is conveyed towards level 12, Living Memory. Souls would go to the left, making their way to level 11. As Grahatia put it, they recreated the process by which souls are broken down within the ethereal sea. On a personal note, I felt pretty disgusted walking through this level for the first time.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this is not... I hate this place. Get me out of here, please. The name, Namika. Physical Sensation 8, 86. Oh god. Citizen Memory Erasure, completed. Corporeal Disposal, completed. Aether Extraction, completed. Oh, Christ almighty. What pisses me off? She didn't even get to fucking rest. She didn't even get to go to the ethereal sea. I don't think any technology in FF14 has pissed me off more than this.
Level 8 is an interesting place. This is where the distinctive mushroom shape of Everkeep starts taking form, so it's larger than the levels below. It contains a vast array of buildings, similar to that of Solution 9. The area is still active, with demolition sites and transports flying through the air. It seems the infrastructure of this level is being recycled for use elsewhere in the tower. Let's not forget, now cut off from the ninth reflection, Alexandria has much less access to Electro Boar. It's also where we fought and defeated Brute Bomber. This area originally served as the primary residential district for the people of Alexandria, while construction of the next level was ongoing. This brings us neatly along to the highlight of Everkeep, level 9, known to its people as Solution 9. This level is the primary residential and commercial level of Everkeep. The tower's entire population resides in this city. It contains everything an Alexandrian would ever need. Their housing, entertainment and commercial needs are all provided here. Indeed, many citizens would never even have to leave Solution 9 during their lifetime. Some of the highlights of this level are the Arcadian Battle Arena, as well as the admin sector which houses the governmental body of Alexandria. Solution 9 is the largest level by far, being much wider and taller than the other levels, which gets considerably smaller the further up you go. Level 10, for example, is a largely unknown level, but is known to contain a maze of laboratories and research facilities, most of which have been abandoned. Containment Complex 1029, for example, is a former preservation research facility. Some of the work that went on here includes soul extraction research, soul cell creation, and regulator design. Most importantly, it's where the Key's electrode housing was originally designed and constructed. It's within these halls that preservation dreamed up the concepts for living memory and the endless as we know them today, tethering Alexandria to a wheel it could not escape from until recently. Level 11 is the second half of Origenics, containing the Soul Processing and Research divisions. The Soul Processing division manages the Soul Aether that passes through this sector from level 7. The Soul Aether canisters are put through a final screening process called purification. The terminals found in this area describe the process. Separated souls undergo cleansing and the removal of residual memories. The purifying light is harmful to organic beings, so utmost care must be taken during the procedure. Even the slightest contamination may lead to memory and personality disorders within the user. As such, each and every soul must be cleared using the precision detector.
What do you suppose that light is, if it's so harmful to living beings and not the soul?
Honestly, I'm afraid to even get close to the glass to find out. But my best guess, given our bodies are comprised of corporeal aether and our souls are incorporeal, that light is specially aspected aether that only targets the corporeal aether.
But aren't memories incorporeal ether as well?
I'm not sure. It's never fully explained. But given memory is inscribed upon the aether of our souls, I'd be willing to bet it's somewhere in between. Once purification is completed, soul aether canisters enter a large vat. Human and feral souls are placed in smaller containers to be stored in the upper portion of this level for distribution around Everkeep. Most human souls would find their way to Solution 9 for distribution to the citizens. Feral souls, however, were stored away for use by the military forces of Alexandria. But as part of the testing of feral souls, many were distributed to places like the Arcadian. Others would find their way to black market soul dealers, who traffic in both feral and human souls. Then there is the Soul Research Division. This is a pretty horrific facility. They perform experiments with feral and human souls, loading them into both captured humans and monsters, with no regard to the suffering their subjects undergo. They also experiment with augmenting monsters with electrope, alongside injecting souls in order to produce a stronger fighting force. One such example is Ambrose the Undeparted, a former member of Oblivion who was captured and later killed, and his body was infused with souls and electrope augmentations to create an undead soldier. All of the above were ordered by Zeralja during his decades-long rule of the kingdom. Finally, we reach the top of Everkeep, level 12. Or we would have if we were on the Ninth Reflection. For reasons that were never explained or understood, level 12 was left on the 9th during interdimensional fusion. When Everkeep arrived on Aetheris, what lay atop the tower was just the roof of level 11. During the 3 decades that Everkeep spent within the Unbreached Dome, a new addition to Everkeep was constructed, as a bridge between both worlds. If you look upon Everkeep from Heritage Found, you will see a large spire-like structure atop the tower, tall enough to pierce the cloud cover, yet still within the confines of the dome. This spire gets more and more narrow as you approach the summit, which is only reachable via elevator. It's on the summit that we fought our final battle with Zeralja, and where the massive fusion gate that linked Aetheris to the Ninth Reflection was located. The throne of the King of Resolve also stands here, but now serves as a point of mourning and remembrance for the people of Alexandria. In this place, the core system of Everkeep can gift back the citizens their sealed memories of the deceased, should they wish to accept them. You would not be blamed for thinking this portion of Everkeep extended above the lightning below and the dome that surrounds the region. But if you look around a bit, you will notice the sky is clear. The light is shining, but there is no sun. It was just recently revealed to us that what we're actually witnessing is sunlight hitting the outside of the dome. Air particles inside the dome are reacting to it, producing the blue sky we see. It's not explained, however, if this was intentional. To be honest, the dome itself deserves its own theory video. Many unanswered questions. Which is why I'll happily dodge them here because this is an Everkeep video.
You sly fox you. So, what about level 12?
Level 12 is an expansive cityscape, vast yet smaller than Solution 9. Like the rest of the tower, it's built from electrope, and its primary function is to serve as a home for the Endless. The memories of departed Alexandrians who can regain humanoid form in this place. Their memories are stored within specialized terminals, located at multiple points around living memory. All these terminals are managed by the Meso-terminal, which controls the majority of functions on living memory, while also serving as a repository for the Endless. The city itself requires the same energy as the rest of Everkeep to function. The Endless, however, require Aether, which is harvested and supplied to living memory. Level 12 was once a physical part of Everkeep, but for reasons never explained, it was left behind on the Ninth Reflection. The only way to reach this level now is via the gateway in the Skydeep Cenote. While once it served the needs of the Endless, its purpose now is to gift back the memories of those that yet live in Alexandria. Said lost memories are stored within the Meso-terminal. In a generation's time, this function will no longer be required, and it's possible access to living memory itself will no longer be possible. But there we go, a full overview of Everkeep.
I still have so many questions about living memory.
I think that will be the subject of a future video. Not gonna lie, it's kind of a hornet's nest. Everkeep in general is an amazing concept. Its inspiration is drawn from the concept of an arcology, an idea created by architect Paolo Sorelli. It's a megastructure that combines architecture and ecology. In essence, it's a self-contained city, which is considered to be the future of human habitation, once we have the technology to pull it off.